The class of 2020 has had many obstacles over these last 4 years. They are the only class to have been in 3 different high school buildings. They have endured flooding, clown attacks, and now the coronavirus. But out of the chaos comes the class of 2020's top 10 academic students. These students have worked extremely hard to get here, and they will forever be remembered as one of the top classes at Reading High. Without further ado, here are your top 10 students for Reading High School's class of 2020.
My name is Meadow Kerlin, and I'm ranked ninth in my class. Freshman year is terrifying for most students, and I was especially terrified to enter Mr. McClellan's class, which I was told would be one of the hardest I take all of high school, and it was. However, Mr. McClellan was devoted to his teaching and made math come to life through demonstrations and even a breakout room exam. I admire the passion that Mr. McClellan showed in the job that he has, and that's the kind of passion I want to pursue in everything that I do in life. Although I only had Mr. McClellan in the class my freshman year, it's the impact that he has made outside the classroom which has the greatest influence over me. Mr. McClellan stayed invested in my life. He was always willing to stop what he was doing to talk, to encourage me about any problem, or just to lend a bottle of Febreze. Before any math exam I've ever taken, I can guarantee you would find the words, "You are loved," written on the chalkboard in his handwriting, and Mr. McClellan would be eagerly waiting to hear how the exam went. He was always made it a priority to make every student feel valued and loved, and that's a lesson I will now use daily in my life. Through both the 14-hour and 3 challenges I've done with Mr. McClellan, he has taught me to strive for my best work even when the problem is quite literally impossible. And this is a mindset that I will carry through the rest of my life. I am incredibly grateful for all the memories and inspiration that I've gained in these 4 years from Mr. McClellan, and I hope when I become a teacher, I'll be able to touch the lives of my students as he has done for me.
Hello, my name is Maggie Childs, and I chose Mr. Nagelhout as my most influential teacher. I chose Mr. Nagelhout as my most influential teacher for many reasons. Mr. Nagelhout, or Nagel as we all call him, has been influencing me since my freshman year of high school. Freshman year, I had the pleasure of having Nagel as my gym teacher and my health teacher. Although I did not have him as a teacher in my sophomore or junior year, I stayed in contact with him by talking to him when I saw him throughout the day. I also had the pleasure of spending my summer mornings with Nagel during summer gym and service learning for him my senior year. Since day one, Mr. Nagelhout has been someone that consistently makes me laugh, even on the days where I really didn't want to be at school. He has constantly respected me as an equal rather than treating me like a subordinate, and has impacted my life more than he could ever know. He has always been real around me and always quick to crack a joke or say a funny comment. He has shown me what it is like to not only be a great teacher, but a great person. As I venture off into the future with the plan to become a teacher, I simply hope I can be as influential for my future students as Nagel was for me.
I'm Joey Knox, and I was number 7th in the class of 2020. My most influential teacher was Miss Burns. I had a really hard time narrowing down my most influential teacher because I have liked every single one of them from kindergarten to now. I could probably choose at least 5, but my task at hand is to choose just one. I do want to say that I believe I have received an excellent education from Reading schools. The administration, teachers, coaches, counselors, fellow peers, and of course my parents all played an important role in my education, and I thank every one of you. Most everyone knows that I have had a genuine love of science nearly my whole life. I have had some pretty amazing science teachers, but one particular teacher and her class solidified my decision of going into the medical field. I have chosen Mrs. Burns as my most influential teacher. Her class was anatomy, which I already knew I was going to enjoy, and her way of teaching only enhanced my experience. Unlike some, I like a good lecture. Ms. Burns not only lectures, but she also used labs, videos, models, and slides to educate her students. Even though there is a lot of memorization in anatomy, I always felt that she had prepared us for her quizzes and tests. I also knew I could always go for her for extra help at any time. It is easy to say that she wants all of her students to do well and succeed. I think Mrs. Burns is a very serious teacher, but on many occasions, I had the opportunity to speak to her on a more relaxed, personal level. She is a good listener, and I believe she genuinely cares. Thank you, Mrs. Burns, for playing such an important role in my education, and I appreciate everything you have done. Reading High School is lucky to have you.
When asked to pick my most influential teacher throughout my 12 years of schooling, my mind went all over the place, but I always found it coming back to one person, Mr. Marquez. Mr. Marquez was my 6th grade English teacher. Usually when I'm given the choice to pick a seat for a class, I choose the back of the room to be able to see everything going on. This was not the case for Mr. Marquez's class. All of the action was at the front of the room where he was teaching. Mr. Marquez spent extra time with me to help me become a better writer, which is something that has and will benefit me for the rest of my life. His energetic teaching style made learning and writing about Greek gods and Chinese emperors more engaging. No, I will never forget about Shin Chi Huang. If you think Mr. Marquez is loud in the classroom, just imagine him yelling on the soccer field. From no soup for you, boy, and on your horse, he always knew how to brighten the mood on the field. I was lucky enough to have Mr. Marquez as my coach my sophomore and junior seasons of soccer. These 2 years were a struggle to get through because I was having shoulder problems. After seeing him have to leave a game early because he dislocated his shoulder warming up the keeper, I knew he understood what I was going through. His constant reassurance on and off the field helped me push through the pain and finish the seasons. Mr. Marquez has helped me become a better person in the classroom, on the field, and in general, and I will forever be thankful for all his support.
I'm Emily Brandt. I'm 5th in my class, and my most influential teacher is Mr. Brandt. When asked to pick which teacher influenced me the most over my 13 years at Reading schools, I could not think of anyone else more deserving of this honor than Mr. Page. While I wholeheartedly believe that the entire staff at Reading is outstanding, I also know that Mr. Page has changed learning for me and my outlook on life itself. He not only provided me with the class I believe is the most important to take in high school, but he also gave me countless opportunities that helped me realize the career path I want to pursue. Over the summer, Mr. Page helped me shadow a cardiologist, and with his assistance, I soon realized that I wanted to go into the medical field. After this realization, Mr. Page has sacrificed his own time to meet with me before school, after school, and even on off days to help ensure that I am prepared for college. He has never fallen short of showing me that he is invested in my future career and wants to see me succeed. Yet his impact on my life reaches far beyond the classroom. Not only has he taught me the lessons he's required to teach, but he has also pushed me to aspire to be a better person every day. He has helped spark my passion for philanthropy, as he showed me how important it is to give back, and he also has proven to me that hard work does pay off and I should never stop being determined. Although the most important lesson that I will remember for the rest of my life is how experiences are always better than materialistic items. Mr. Page has demonstrated how time spent with those that you love is more important than any tangible item, as you can never buy back time with them. This one lesson has allowed me to alter my outlook on life, as I now want to put more effort into experiencing everything this world has to offer, and I too want to encourage others to think the same. While no words can ever truly describe how thankful I am to have Mr. Page in my life, I will never stop striving to be the kind of person he is. I'm Kaylee Reichling. I'm 4th. When I first entered Miss Fisher's class as a 7th grader, I had no idea the impact she would leave on me. Little did I know I would end up having the goofy, bingo-playing, horse-loving French teacher for the next 5 years. When I was a service learner for Mrs. Fisher my junior year, she had a bit of an unruly 8th grade class, to put it nicely. However, if a student was misbehaving, she would pull them aside to ask if everything was okay. If a student had their head down in the middle of class, she would ask them if they wanted to go get a drink of water rather than snap at them. Her patience and kindness is admirable. She has taught me to be sympathetic to others because you never know the burdens someone else is carrying. I am grateful for the years I have spent in her class, singing C'est l'Halloween and Je suis une pizza, feeding Jean-Pierre the squirrel, or simply just Frenching it up. Miss Fisher has granted me innumerable life lessons: to always keep butter in a butter bell, how to turn 1 vanilla Tootsie Roll into 4, and for Meadow to never put metal in the microwave.
But most importantly, Miss Fisher has taught me not to take life too seriously. Even in the difficult times as of late, Mrs. Fisher has been sending a group of her students a picture each day, whether it be everyone's favorite dog, Alvin, or her ornately decorated Easter tree. She is truly a free spirit, and I can only hope to one day achieve an ounce of her optimism. Mrs. Fisher, for everything you've done for your students, myself included, merci.
Hi, my name is Kylie Schmidt. I'm third in my class, and my most influential teacher is Ms. Schinkel. From the classroom to the softball field, Ms. Schinkel has been a constant source of positive influence on my life. Not only have I learned from her tremendously academically, Ms. Schinkel has also encouraged me to establish my sense of self. She has been a solid shoulder to lean on in times of academic, social, and personal stress. My life over the course of the last 4 years has been incredibly busy, but Ms. Schinkel constantly works towards ensuring I am remembering to take the time to enjoy the little things in my life, like days off and relaxation. I have always cherished comfort in a classroom and trust from a teacher. Ms. Schinkel has proven to be one of the most trustworthy individuals I have in my life. No matter the situation I am confronted with, she always knows the words to say in order to ease my worries and guide me in the right direction. I can confidently say that I have a source of dependability and support for the remainder of my life. However, Ms. Schinkel's influence on my life goes even further. She has instilled in me the importance of teamwork, selflessness, and dedication. As a coach, Ms. Schinkel has pushed me to view situations based upon their effects on others involved, to pursue a goal with the benefits of not only yourself in mind, but those around you as well. Ms. Schinkel is the epitome of tough love, and I cannot thank her enough for making me a stronger player on and off the field. Ms. Schinkel has always been on my team. From my first day in her classroom to my first day on her varsity squad, Ms. Schinkel has welcomed me with open arms. At my lowest moments, Ms. Schinkel was a source of encouragement. She never fails to make me laugh or appreciate my humor. She has truly grown to be one of the most important people in my life. Although my last season alongside Ms. Schinkel has been canceled, I will enter this new chapter of my life always remembering I am a part of her Blue Devil family.
Okay, I'm Kristen Cain and I'm ranked second in my class. In my 4 years of high school, I was fortunate enough to build relationships with many teachers. However, the teacher who supported, comforted, and influenced me the most was Mr. Page. He introduced himself with a handshake and a smile the first day of my junior year, and 2 years later, he has left an impact on my life I'll never forget. In Mr. Page's class, I discovered a career that I'm passionate about. I remember reading a finance book he assigned for an exam, excitedly telling him how interesting it all was to me, and being told you would be perfect for this field. Mr. Page has clearly influenced my decision to pursue finance, but no matter the direction I go, I can only hope to approach every situation with the same energy and enthusiasm he does. Mr. Page makes a point to connect with every single student that comes into his classroom. He may quite honestly be the most energetic person I've ever met, which comes off a little intimidating to some, but is extremely admirable to me. Mr. Page has shown us time and time again that he isn't afraid to go above and beyond for anyone, and that he truly wants success for all of his students. He speaks encouragement and love into others everywhere he goes. Some of my favorite memories are the hours we spent in preparation for our state competition, the countless number of donuts eaten in his classroom in the morning, every long car ride with Emily, Nate, and Kylie, and the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity he gave us to make real change in our world through the development of the Ohio Personal Finance Bill. I hope he knows how truly grateful I am to have had him as a teacher, mentor, and friend. Reading is really losing a great one next year, but I'm so glad to have been a part of his time at RHS. Thank you, Mr. Page.
I am Nate Grant. I'm number 1 in the class of 2020, and my most influential teacher was Miss Rhonda Eisenhard. My high school counselor, Miss Rhonda Eisenhard, has been pivotal in the forming of my goals in career and in life. I've only gotten to know Miss Eisenhard rather well this year, but in this short time, the admiration I have gained for her is difficult to equal. I am certain she has and will impact my education, career, and life. I say this because no other senior has spent as much time in her office asking countless favors and questions, yet she never hesitated to guide me. Perhaps what I notice most about her is her drive to get anything and everything done, and done quickly and correctly. For instance, I recall asking her a question about the University of North Carolina, and to get me a certain answer, she was on the phone with someone in their admissions office in less than 3 minutes. If that's not getting things done, I do not know what is. Even more influential than her superior work ethic is her dedication to community. I'm not sure that she has done so purposefully or even realizes she has done it, but her decades-long work with Reading Community Schools, her alma mater, serves as a template for true success. I can safely say that if someday I have done half as much as Ms. Eisenhardt for my community, I will have done a lot. It may just feel like a job to her, but I admire her. I admire the tireless effort she has given to generations of Reading students, myself included. She has constructed the beginnings of countless successful careers by sending off the graduates of Reading High School and has stood by students personally all along the way. By the same token, I hope to become an allergy doctor so that I, like Ms. Eisenhardt, may give back to a community which has given me so much. In this profession and in my years at college, I will certainly employ her determined and committed work ethic to reach my goals. She has done so much more than schedule my classes, and I know for certain I am not alone in looking up to her. I truly hope that I can help others in a way just as meaningful as Ms. Eisenhardt has done for me.